Procrastination is a big deal. We avoid doing certain tasks that we dread, and then we end up feeling defeated, and then we dread them even more, and we feel even more defeated, and it sets up a cycle. A lot of this procrastination is caused by stress, and this has certainly been a stressful time for many. Well, today, Michelle from My Everyday Wife Life and I are coming together to tackle our own areas of procrastination, and we're going to show you 10 things that we've been procrastinating. We're going to take you along, and we're going to help you to get motivated and inspired to tackle your own procrastination list. You get to be the hero in your own story. You don't have to be held down by this weight of things that keep not happening day after day after day. You can conquer this. You can be the hero in your own story, and we are here to help. I'm going to leave Michelle's channel in my description box below, her channel link, so that you can go on over there when you're done watching this video and get even more motivation. I know that you're going to love Michelle as much as I do. She is an overcomer. She has overcome a lot of struggles, and she's still overcoming a lot of struggles, and she's very honest and down to earth about all of it. So I really hope that you'll click on her link when you're done watching this video, because I know you will not be sorry. I'm launching right into the hardest thing first, and this is my homeschool books and materials, and they've been in my basement, so I chose to do this first because I have my husband home, and he could lug all these boxes up from the basement, and then he could put things back in the basement that I have to keep in there. What I'm doing is I'm going through all of their past books and work. I'm deciding what needs to be kept and what needs to be tossed. So for their homeschool work, I do keep everything from my high schoolers, but I need this all separated so that they each have their own box, so that when I go to do transcripts, I know I have everything. And if I'm questioned by a college during the admission process, I know right where all of their things are. Then I'm deciding which books we're going to use again and which books we'll never use again, so that I can go ahead and get rid of them. This is something that I should have done in the spring, and I would normally do in the spring, but I obviously procrastinated it, which is how it ended up on my list. And this brings up one of the biggest reasons that I think we actually procrastinate, and that is because we have a sense of fear, we have a sense of dread and anxiety. I don't even think it necessarily has to do with us dreading or feeling anxious over the actual task that we're doing. I think if we feel anxious or stressed over anything in our lives, then we're looking at tasks that aren't fun, and we feel like I've already got enough to deal with without having to do this. So whatever this is for you, you know, it's easy to procrastinate it when you're feeling stressed out about other things. And I think it's pretty understandable that we're all feeling pretty stressed out during the spring of 2020. And then I fooled myself into thinking that things were going to calm down by the fall, that later in the summer would be a better time to do these things. And guess what? It didn't actually get any better. And so here we are, and it's time to get this done. But let me put a little disclaimer in here that I think is very important. If you don't feel well enough to do the work that needs to be done, you're not procrastinating, you're taking care of yourself, you're resting. And that's not the same as procrastinating. We have to do what we can do, but sometimes there's things we can't do and there's nothing we can do about it. And beating ourselves up about it doesn't help. So it's best if we do what we can do and try to find help for the things that we can't do. And then sometimes we even have to decide what we can let go of. Let's face it, in life there are things that even though they need to be done, they can't get done, and that's okay. In this video, I'm talking about things that we physically can do, but we're not doing. And as I made it through my list, I felt so empowered. This task I'm doing now was a pretty big one. It took me the entire day. I really wanted to knock out 4 or 5 things on the list and get going on this video, and that's one of the reasons I love doing video, is it really does motivate me to get the things done that I need to get done. But this one took me a lot longer than I planned on, but when I was done, it did feel so good. Robert Collier said, if you procrastinate when faced with a big, difficult problem, break the problem into parts and handle it one part at a time. And that's really what I'm focused on right here, is just breaking this down into what am I getting rid of, what am I keeping, where am I going to put it all, and taking it one step at a time. So here's where I'm at. I have some empty boxes that are now freed up because of things I got rid of. I have a little bit of a mess on the island of things that just need to be taken care of. I have this box here of things I'm getting rid of. And then I have this box over here, also things that I'm going to be getting rid of. And we're going to be just taking those things to Goodwill. And then my dining room table is things I'm all keeping that need to be put away that I'll be using this year. And then for my high schoolers, I have one Rubbermaid for each of them that has all their work. And then this is the closet that we use. And I'm just throwing things in there that we'll use, and I'll deal with it later. And this guy's not helping me end procrastination. Number 2 on my list is to get these windowsills cleaned out. It's amazing how quickly dirt piles up. This is the one in my kitchen over my sink. And so I'm getting in there with my Dyson vacuum cleaner to get all of the loose dirt, and then I can go in and wipe it down. As you might know if you've been around here, I just got new countertops and cabinets, so that gave me license to just ignore this window. But it wasn't long once I got started. Isn't that just the way? It really was no time flat for me to get this cleaned up. So now I'm throwing away my paper towels and I'm going to be emptying out my Dyson, but you see I get a little distracted by some mess on the trash can. So I'm that if you give a mouse a cookie person. And then you're going to notice that, oh my goodness, Karen notices that her closet door is open. So we must take care of that because we can't just leave that. And this is why I write lists, is because I get very easily distracted. And before you know it, I'm doing a project in another room that I didn't even plan on doing. Okay, I'm back on track. Now I'm walking to the living room. There's another window that's over the cat ledge, and if I'm the only one who can't seem to interrupt a cat, let me know. But I'm going to be getting to this window too right now. In my other window, I was able to just use one of my method cleaners, but this time I'm using bleach. It's a mildew remover, and that's because this one gets a lot dirtier. And you're gonna see that even though I clean it, it's still got some black there because we're getting some rot and this window needs to be replaced. There's so many things in my home that need to be done, but I have found if I just keep it clean, then it helps me to wait it out, and I just do the best I can to make my home look as well as can be. Now that that's done, I'm moving off into my bedroom because the outside of the exterior door is super dirty and needs to be cleaned as well. All right, you ready for this? Ha, ha, ha. Look at that. So gross. Oh my goodness. Get this cleaned. Look at that. Look at that. Nasty. Honestly, it's easy to ignore the outside of this door. I don't use this door a ton. I usually go out from the living room, but I'm just getting it cleaned up real quick with some Windex, and it really did not take a ton of time, maybe 5 minutes. Author Charles Dickens said, "My advice is to never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time." I can so relate to this because I think that sometimes thinking about a task and procrastinating it actually takes longer than to actually get it done. So often I spend more time thinking about something than I would have spent just doing the thing. With the white parts of the door, I end up going in with a magic erase sponge. These things are truly a miracle. If you have any chemical sensitivities at all, I recommend these because they have absolutely no odor. This is actually what we use to clean our tub as well, and it works so well. And there we are. It looks so much better, and I am so satisfied with it, so it was definitely worth doing. When you're done with these magic erase sponges, you just rinse it under cold water and squeeze it out good, and it's ready for the next use. And I find they last a lot longer than you might think. You can also cut them in half if that makes you feel like you might get more use out of it. And I notice that my drawer is a bit messy, so I take a minute just to neaten it up. Not too distracted this time, just one little quick neaten, and I'm off and ready to do the next chore. Next on my list is to wash my floor in my bedroom. And these, as you can see here, they really do need to be sanded down and refinished. And so sometimes I can be discouraged from cleaning it because I don't think it looks that great when I'm done, but it really does, and it's totally worth it. This only took about 5 minutes, and you can definitely see it needed to be done. My next task is a big one. I am ordering school curriculum, another thing that I have been putting off, and the reason I have put it off is because of decision fatigue. And sometimes I can have decision fatigue before I even start making the decision because I know it's going to be a tough one. But once you dive in and just start doing it, it gets a lot easier. And I don't know who said this to attribute it to, but someone wise said, take time to deliberate, but when time comes for action, stop thinking and go in. And that was what I needed to do here. I just needed to stop thinking about it and go in and do it. I've been homeschooling for over 20 years, so it's not like I don't know what curriculum is out there. It just, I had to make the commitment to it and go ahead and get it ordered. Next is to clean off this bookshelf and get off any books that we don't use regularly because we have other bookshelves in our basement. I'm getting this cleaned off because I feel like I have too many things on my desk. Because I have a glass top desk, anything I keep there always shows, and I don't do well with visual clutter. It's almost a sensory thing with me. So I'm getting this shelf cleaned off. I'm sorry, the angle here is not the best, but I'm getting this shelf cleaned off, and then I'm going to move things from my desk over to this shelf. And that allows me to get my desk cleaned out as well, which also is something I've wanted to do. Next, we got a new microwave because our old one died, and we've probably had this one about a month maybe, and I haven't cleaned it once, so today is the day. I love this quote from Alexander Graham Bell. He said, "Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work in hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought into focus." I've really been trying to put this idea into focus lately. When I'm doing a task, I try to put all of my strength and energy and mind toward that task. I'm trying not to think about all the dozens of things that I also have to do. I'm trying to really just focus, and I find it much more relaxing, and I find that I enjoy cleaning a lot more too when I'm just in the moment, making that one thing the best it can be and putting all of my brain and body energy into it. The big thing for me is to just stay relaxed without thinking ahead. I'm always on in my brain at the next task when I'm doing the first one. It's really hard for me to be in the moment, and being in the moment really helps me. Next is cleaning the trash can. I don't think anyone likes to clean a trash can. This is a newer one that we got over the summer, and it's motion censored, which is really kind of funny because it tends to open when you walk by it. So it's a big joke in our family that your butt actually opens the trash can. So it feels like the trash can is constantly telling you that you have a big butt because as soon as you walk by, it tends to open. I'm using a stainless steel cleaner on the outside, but on the inside, I'm using the Method degreaser. It doesn't have grease inside, but I thought a degreaser would probably get it nice and clean, and it did work very well. Thankfully, we've been doing very well at not getting anything spilled on the inside of the trash can, so it wasn't nasty like it is sometimes when you're cleaning a trash can. Because of the motion sensor component, there's a lot of little cracks and crevices, so I'm getting in there with a toothpick. And that really made the trash can look brand new again when I got in all the little corners and crevices. I finally have found something that works better than a toothbrush. I hope this is motivating you to tackle your own list and decide what you will do and when you're going to do it. And then I hope you'll find friends who can join up with you and help you with the accountability, and I'd be happy to be that friend. Then maybe time yourself and plan something you enjoy doing immediately after the task you hate. Now you can see me tackling number 10, which is to make a phone call, canceling an appointment. I really don't like making phone calls, so I procrastinated this one to the very last. And when it's over, I'm going to go out and spend some time with my husband, which I enjoy very much. That's giving me something I enjoy after something I dread doing. I really hope this video motivated and encouraged you. If you're here from Michelle's channel, I hope that you like what you see and that you'll consider subscribing. And if you're from my channel, I hope you're going to hop on over. Remember, Michelle's link is in my description box below. You're going to want to see her video. It's going to motivate you so much more. And as always, I hope you always know that God loves you and I love you too. And I can't wait to see you next time.